Evening, everyone. SG Caper here. You can see I got a new tripod for my camera, so hopefully these videos will be a little easier for you to see. I'm doing some more painting, and what the heck, I like to paint and show you all what I do. Maybe it gives you some ideas, or maybe it gives you ideas on what to do or what not to do. Who knows? Let me know in the comments if you like what I do, or if you think it's garbage. So I'm gonna do a Dollar Tree. It's a Kharn figure from Dollar Tree from the Final Faction line. It's the Brute. I've done a couple of these already, and here's one that's finished. And I'm going to paint it in the same color scheme. I showed the drone previously. I did a video on how I painted the drone. It's the same process, honestly. But somebody asked if I would film it and record it, and I was like, yeah, all right, fine. Why not? I got nothing else going on right now, so here we go. The first thing I did, as always, is I primed it. I used the Games Workshop Chaos Black spray primer. It is my go-to favorite primer. It dries very quick, and it gives a really good surface for the paint to adhere to. 99% of my paints are Games Workshop Citadel brand, you know, Warhammer, Games Workshop, Citadel, and that's what this uses, is all those. So let's start. And I start with the Citadel Layer Xerius Purple. It's a nice dark purple. I don't know why I chose purple when I started painting these, but I did, and that's how they are. Now I'm just going to very liberally and loosely apply this. Just using a big brush. This is just a big old cheapy number 8 size brush from Michael's. It's Artist Loft. I like these big brushes. They do what I need them to do, and I can replace them quickly and easily. There's a Michael's not too far from me. They always have them in stock, and they don't break the bank. And yes, several people have tried to tell me I need to use better brushes, and I don't disagree. I'm just not going to do it. I am an art teacher. I went to art school. I have multiple art degrees. I know that the brushes matter. I'm just not made of money. So if someone wants to buy me nice brushes, I won't say no, but I'm not doing it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this chest area mostly blank. Not too worried. It will get painted, but I don't need it super. This is the first figure I've had from the Final Faction line where I've had a problem with the figure itself. This figure in particular, the head is super loose, and it just doesn't want to stay in place. It moves a lot, as you can see, and it's kind of annoying. I had someone contact me and say I need to wear gloves. Nope, not going to do it. Sorry. I'm not worried about the oils in my skin affecting paint adhesion or even leaving fingerprints. I'm not worried about it. If that's something you worry about, great. You are far more professional than I, and more power to you. But I'm not going to be worried about that. And I'm going right on with the paint. I'm not thinning it. I'm not doing anything to it. I'm just and dipping it in and painting it on. I'm not super worried about the coverage. If some of the black shows through, I'm not overly concerned by that, because the final step kind of covers all of that stuff. There's the other arm. And keep going. So this process is pretty quick. You can see it's already starting to dry. That's good. That's one of the things I like about these, is they just dry quickly. I've had no problems with the Citadel paints and drying and things like that. No problems at all. I've had problems with parts. Certain parts that I've painted have become tacky, but that's not a problem of the paint. That's a problem of the plastic itself. Mainly the, sort of rubbery things, like the Men in Black coats on Men in Black figures. Those got tacky when I tried painting those. All right, let's get this other leg. These, you've heard me say it, and I'll say it every time I paint one of these figures. They're fun to paint. There's a lot of detail on them. The sculpting is great, and I don't mind trying new things, and you shouldn't either, because they're a buck. You buy them for a buck, you paint them up, try new things, you mess up, it's okay. You can try things on these and then put those techniques on more expensive figures. Don't forget to do the bottoms of feet. I have been to conventions where people are selling custom figures, and I always want to see other people's work and support them when I can, and so many people just don't paint the bottoms of the feet. If you're selling your work, like if I was trying to sell these, I would seal them, and I would use a Games Workshop matte sealer for the same reason I use everything Games Workshop. It dries fast and it works well, and that would help prevent the bottoms of the feet from chipping. Let's see. A little bit more to go. And if there's areas that aren't, like some of these crevices and cracks that aren't perfectly painted, I don't mind, because the final step for these is a wash, and it's going to fill in those cracks anyway. So I'm not super worried. I have bought a bunch of these. I have 2 more of these primed and ready for paint, of the brutes here, and I have 1 more of the drone. The drone's actually right there, and I'm probably going to paint it when I'm done with this video. I also have some of the accessories primed up and ready to go. All right, so there's the purple. Go in, see if there's any spots that are glaringly obviously missed. All right, that looks pretty good. Oh, see, that's why you check. I missed that bicep. All right, so I can see. Clean off my brush. Dry the brush. This one needs a little more cleaning. What do you use to clean your brushes? What do you use? I just use water. I have a big old cup of water. I'm using all acrylics. They clean with water pretty easy, so I don't get too worried. All right. Well, you know what? I just screwed that up. I meant to do something before I washed it. Here's what I'll do. So all I did was put a little bit of the purple paint on it because I kind of need it. Because the next step, I am going to use Citadel Layer Opti Bone. And I like doing it with the dirty brush because it changes the color slightly. And this is going to be the color I put on for the chest. And the inside of the face. Makes this lighter violet, lighter purple, and I do the insides of the thighs. I'm not worried if this paint goes anywhere because right now I can still go back and fix anything, any overpainting. Not super concerning at this point. Which I'll have to do. You can already see some spots that need to be painted more. Get a little more. And each layer of this, it's getting a little bit lighter because there's less of the purple left on the brush to mix with it. So it's just getting closer and closer to the real color in the bottle. All right, there is that. Done with that. Now I really do need to wash the brush. And I'm going to switch brushes and I'm going to clean up some stuff and then move on to the next color. Oh, knocking stuff over. I'm going to go back to my purple and I'm going to clean some stuff up. That's something I've talked about with friends before. You know, when you're doing this, it's not perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect. You know, if you're trying to make a living out of this, well, yeah, you need to put a lot more effort in and whatnot. But if you're doing it for yourself, just have fun. Just have fun. Don't let other people knock you down. Don't let other people tell you you're wrong, or, you know, getting advice is good, but don't let people just shut you down with negativity. Those people are usually miserable anyway, and they usually don't know what they're talking about. I have several people I've blocked from my page on Facebook because they have no idea what they're talking about, and they send me pictures of their customs and like, you should do this. And I look at them and I say, no, I should not, because that is quite frankly not what I'm looking to do. All right. I'm just cleaning up some spots. What do you think of the new camera setup? Does this work better for you? Work worse? What do you think? Let me know. I got this new tripod because I thought I'd lost my old one. In fact, I thought my wife had taken it. She needed a bunch of tripods for work, and I remember she asked me one day about how to use mine, and I showed her how to set it up and all that, and then it disappeared. So I just assumed that she took it and was borrowing it, and she did not. Couldn't find it for a couple weeks. And so I finally just asked her, hey honey, you done with my tripod? I need it back. She said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a tripod. And I was like, yes you do, you have to. I haven't found it in weeks. I showed you how to use it and then it disappeared. Like, you have to have it. No, I don't have it. I was like, where could it be? And I cleaned my room a dozen times, couldn't find it. I was like, no, really, you have to. Nope, don't know where it is. It's fine. I'm just going to buy a new tripod, an overhead version, and that's that. And of course, I placed the order, and 10 minutes later, I find the old tripod. That's how things work, though, isn't it? All right, so there's the two purple layers. There he is so far. That's what he's going to look like. Believe it or not, they are the same colors. Now I'm going to go in with black. This is Citadel Base Abaddon Black. And not a whole lot of black on this guy, which is why I'm doing this color next. But there are a few spots. So on the head, there are these, like, I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they kind of remind me of horns. So I paint those black. Shoot. There you go. Those are black. These shoulder spikes, I like to do black. Let the brush do the work. Let the brush and the paint do it. Don't force it. It'll fill these little crevices up pretty easily if you let it. Doesn't take a whole lot of work. Here's another one. I don't know if you can hear all that noise in the background, but my daughter's hamster's in here. She can't sleep with it in her room. So comes into the office every night, and every morning I pick it up and bring it back in her room. Alright, there's these elbow spikes. I do these in black because why not? Alright. Other elbow spike. Alright. Fingernails. I don't know why I think claws look cool black. So, claw. Claw. Claws. Do the other side. Claw. 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 There's the claws. Now the toenails. There. Other side. I wish there was music that I could play and not have my videos pulled from YouTube. Painting in silence is not fun for me. people like it. I would normally have like a TV show or movie or something playing in the background. But, all right. So there's all the black. Oh wait, nope, that's not true. Okay. Gonna go into the eyes. Here. All right. Done with the black. One color left. That is check it up. Citadel base, Kharn red. Pretty close to Kharn, right? So it was meant to be. Start at the top. There's all these little dots on the body. And just want to put them on. A couple more. There's the head. Same thing on the back. And there's a lot of them. I don't do all of them. I just do the main ones that I can really easily see. This is another time I'm not super worried if I mess up painting because I can still go over it. I can still fix it. There's these neat ridges on the back, and I don't know, I decided that those get painted red as well. Not sure why. Just decided that's what I wanted to do. All right, there's the back. Just knocking stuff over everywhere. Okay, there's these like scales on the arms. I like to do these in the red. There we go. And then I do two of the ones on the back of the hand. Okay. The other side. So I still have a bunch of the final faction characters I want to do with, but I don't mind the lack of articulation on these creatures, on the aliens. I really don't. The lack of articulation on the people, though, really bothers me, and I'm trying to find enough donor parts in my parts bin to modify a figure to give it added articulation. Because I think with some added articulation, they'd look really great. And now I've seen some people custom paint the human figures, and they look nice. They do. But there's things about them I just can't get over, like the giant hands. I'm not down with the giant hands. All right. So I want to make sure I have hands that I can put on them and things like that. And I'd like to add some articulation to a couple of these too, just to see if I can do it. And when I decide, I will make a video. And if it comes out good, you'll see the video. If not, you'll never know what happened. You can see I overpainted there. I don't mind, because I can still go back and fix it. Really, up until I add the wash, I can fix anything I do to this. Once I add the wash, it becomes harder, because if I screw something up after the wash, paint chips really bad or something like that, I have to do another wash on top of whatever paint I fixed, and that can screw up what I did. So try not to do that. Here we go. All right. There's that. Get my red. I'm going to try to get my brush nice and sharp. And do the eyes. I already did them once in black. I'm going to go over them in red. All right. So upper body's done. Now I got to do the lower body. And there's a lot of detail on here, and this is the most time-consuming part of the paint job. If I knew how to do fast forward, I would fast forward this part for you so you don't have to sit through it. Or you can fast forward. You won't miss much. Except my witty repartee with myself and the squeaking of the hamster wheel behind me. Yeah, my daughter wanted a hamster. We told her if she slept in her room, she could get a hamster. She slept in her room, got a hamster, doesn't want the hamster in her room. Go figure. trying to make sure you can see, but it's you know, kind of a little more important that I can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you're getting a better view of what I'm doing than the other way I was doing stuff from the side. I actually never watch my own videos. Like many people, I can't stand the sound of my own voice. And I just did it, so I don't feel like I need to watch it. So I never know if my videos are actually any good. Yeah, I'm never going to be a professional YouTuber. I am not willing to put the work in. I don't know how people do it. I mean, good for them, but no thank you. So, nice thing is that the sculpt is so detailed and the sculpting is done so deeply that it's really easy to get the paint on. And if you make a mistake, it's really easy to fix it. Some figures I've painted, and once you start painting them, the details just disappear. And then it becomes really hard to keep up what you're doing. Now, when all this is done, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to clean up any areas that really bother me on the purple. Let that dry. And then do the wash. And the wash is going to change the entire look of this paint. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to do something on the upper body. Okay. There's one leg. Let's do the other leg. All right. If you're still watching, thanks. If you're not watching, well, whatever. It's okay. There's a lot of videos that I start watching. I get about halfway through and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm sure watching my own videos, that's how I would feel. Alrighty. This hamster's going crazy over there. I don't know if y'all, yeah, I'm sure you can hear it. If you can't, you're lucky. Painting toes. Making a mess. That's okay. people say things like you shouldn't trust a skinny chef. No, you shouldn't trust a clean painter. And last toe. Alright, there's the toes. Now the part that I neglected, let's finish that. And then it'll be time for washes. The shoulders. I just kind of arbitrarily, when I started painting these, picked the places that I wanted to paint different colors. There's no real rhyme or reason. There's so much detail on these. You could go bananas trying to paint everything, and I wanted something because I knew I wanted to paint a lot of these. Right, that was the key. I knew I wanted to paint a lot of them, and I knew if I made it too complicated, I just wouldn't do it. So far, we're at 42 minutes. This should be done in just a couple more. You know, if this took 2 hours, it's just, I wouldn't want to paint more of them. So I came up with a scheme that lets me paint them fast and lets me cover up my own mistakes. And in fact, makes the mistakes kind of part of the individual look for each of these. Because as I'm moving it around, there's getting some paint wear already, you know, some color shifting. And that works when I put the wash on, so they all look a little different. Or at least that's what I tell myself. Paint cleaning my brush. Getting a good look at my junk pile. It's not really junk. There's a lot of neat things happening in here, like I'm making a dwarf barbarian. And another final affection figure I showed you before. Lots of stuff happening in this pile. Alright, brush is clean. Go back to the purple. Final cleanup before I do the wash. See if I can get this video done fast. And I'm just going to think of the areas that I was screwing up the most, which really was the legs, and look for any spots where the red is distracting. That looks good. What about the arms? Couple little spots there. Oh yeah, over here, this one. Quite a bit. And that looks good. That looks good. Now, 2 more colors. So the teeth, I use Citadel Layer Screaming Skull. This guy's got some big time teeth, hasn't seen a dentist in a while, probably should have seen an orthodontist as a kid. And didn't. Alright, there's the teeth. One last thing before the wash. One last thing. They are going to be Citadel Layer Phalanx Yellow. Just the tiniest bit. I really only want a little bit. And that is going to go on the eyes. Gotta see them now. All right, brush. Put the napkin there. I'm going to get a nice big brush. This is a number 10 from Artist's Loft. And I'm going to use Citadel Shade Reichland Flesh Shade. I like this one. It's got like a nice red tint to it. Works really well for these figures. And I'm just going to go on here real heavy. I'm not going to be skimpy with this. Because this is what really makes everything work. You can see how it changes those colors instantly. And if you put too much on, get your brush a little drier and then get it off of that area and move it to a new area. Sorry, can't really see what I'm doing. I'm standing it up on here so I can get around these feet, make sure it gets into the crevices. The reason I'm doing this on the paper towel is because when it drips, it'll drip on there. Son of a bitch. So I painted the red on this leg. I didn't paint the red on the other leg. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't any of you tell me? Son of a bitch. And this is what I was talking about. You make a mistake after you've done this and things get a little more complicated. That's alright. I'll make it work. I really wish one of you would have screamed at your computer to tell me I fucked up. Like, SG Caper, you done fucked up? And I would have heard you. Okay, there he is. All wet. So now, because I did screw up, I gotta let it dry, and then I'll paint the red I used, and then I'll go over it with that, and I'll end up with this. This is one I was working on before I started the video, and I made a mistake on this one. I used the wrong red. I used a much lighter red. And so I painted the whole thing. I got it all painted, and I put the wash on and was immediately like, nope, that's the wrong red. It's not dark enough. So I just repainted all of the red with the darker red. And now I'll put the wash on this, and that's going to end this video. So let's see. Just going over all the red. Not really worried about anywhere else because the red's the part where I screwed up. And now the other shoulder. So there it is. I redid the red. I think I got it all. And when this one dries, I'll have 3 completed like this. And these are just, they look great painted. Look at that face. It's like a naked mole rat or something face mixed with, I don't know, twisted hammerhead shark or something. Well, there you go. You got to watch me mess up. Hope you enjoyed. Take it easy, everybody.